We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with health care and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blixen and all his
It's Christmas time.
On the rain.
It's Christmas time.
Bells are ringing,
The president won. That's right. He was completely and totally exonerated, to use his words. And they all have egg on their faces, all these liars in the fake news industry, the politicians, the deep state creeps, crooks, who hopefully will be charged eventually. And the president won again.
They're full of crap.
That's right. And you have, on top of it all, yesterday Michael Avenatti gets arrested. And he faces 100 years in prison. And joining me now, and I was inspired by Anthony Cumia from Compound Media, compoundmedia.com. Anthony Cumia actually told me, he played that winning clip on his own show.
Oh, it just fits.
And I was playing this Christmas music earlier this morning.
Which also fits.
Now it all works together. And now Anthony's here. Anthony's as ecstatic and euphoric as I am. And why not?
It's amazing. This past weekend with the Mueller report, and then Avenatti getting arrested. It's fantastic. And then I just read before that he can't get a lawyer. He's got a public defender.
That's right. He had two court-appointed attorneys sitting with him yesterday. He's out on $300,000 bail.
Oh, what a piece of garbage!
A complete and total scummy lowlife.
Did you read some of the transcripts of the phone calls?
I did not. No.
It's hilarious because they taped his phone call. He literally called up the lawyers over at Nike and said, I want $20 million for legal fees,
right,
or you're going to lose $5 to $10 million in market cap. Way to code things over the phone.
That's right,
dummy.
Well, I didn't realize that they were transcripts of the calls, but I know he asked for the amateur coach $1.5 million. Then he said he wanted him and Mark Garagos, which is Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, another piece of garbage.
The racist, the gay actor, hate crime hoax guy. That's his attorney, Garagos. He's a co-conspirator. He asked that Nike pay them, the two of them, $20 million for an internal investigation.
Yeah.
And then he also asked for $22.5 million for himself, and he'll be quiet on the whole issue.
Yeah.
All of it. And they have all of that apparently on tape.
Yeah, and like I said, he didn't even watch any movie. Watch any mob movie. They always say, I'm going to need 8 pallets of wire. Or something. I'm going to need 3 cups of coffee. You don't say, I need $20 million.
Right.
Use something. Some kind of code.
Any kind of euphemism.
Yeah,
anything. Use your brain.
Couldn't have been happier, though. That's great. And then the report is awesome. It's over 2 years we dealt with this, and they still can't accept it. It's become their whole life.
That's right.
So you can't end it. They're like emotionally disturbed children in the first place, and now you take away the thing that they've adored and loved and had faith in for over 2 years. They're losing their minds again. They're going loco.
Some of them lied, some of them knew, and some of them they had wishful thinking, and they did mislead half of the country out there who believe them. Because why wouldn't you believe John Brennan, who's Obama's former CIA director? Why wouldn't you believe the guy when he said that? I mean, he's sitting on MSNBC. He used to run the CIA, and Trump is guilty of treason, and he's telling Joe Scarborough or somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're like, we're going to get this SOB. And it was all a lie.
And you talk about backpedaling. Some of the people are backpedaling and saying, we need to move on. Now it's like, move on. Well, thank God it turned out this way. Do you realize this affected the election in 2018?
The midterm, yeah.
The midterm election? And they just make it seem like, it was an investigation. We needed to do it, but no harm, no foul.
Right.
Let's move on. No, now it's time to see why there was an investigation in the first place and what illegalities were done to get some of these warrants. the FISA warrants. All this has to be sorted.
And we know that there was some illegality. I mean, we have a bunch of fired FBI people, a bunch of dirty cops. I mean, McCabe, Comey, Stroke, Page, Lynch, even Brennan, he's involved in this. It may go up to Obama. At this point, we don't know, but we have to find out. No, we're not going to let it go.
It has to be looked at. And these people, you see like Maxine Waters, impeach 45! Impeach 45! She's still saying that. She said they don't want to accept it. That Gillibrand, she's out there,
all of them,
just still saying to your face, they don't want to accept it. Gillibrand yesterday saying, and the country wants to know if the president is a crook. You're quoting
that's right.
Nixon. And it's the report's there.
That's
what
exactly
are you looking for?
And the report didn't say we couldn't prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. It said we have no evidence of any collusion whatsoever. No evidence. That was the verbiage used.
I guess not strong enough because children, they don't understand this. And then the people on the other mainstream media networks, I saw some tweets where it was they were writing. And this news is upsetting. So at a time you got to sit down and breathe and say. And again, I'm reading this, going, they're talking to people like they're children. You have to talk them down like you talk to a child after a big national emergency or something.
Right.
Sit them down. How to talk to your children about the Mueller report. That's exactly what's going on.
Again, doing the same crap they did after 2016, how to deal with the Trump victory.
Yeah.
And look, these people on TV they're partially suicidal and partially defiant. I mean, they go from one to the other, one extreme to the other. And by the way, they got everything wrong, and they're still on TV opining. I don't know how that's happening.
Yeah.
If you got it all wrong, why should we listen? Why should anybody listen to you now? Because you were so stupid. As a matter of fact, we were talking about this New York page the front page of this cover. It's based on a March Madness. It's called Mueller Madness. Who got it the most wrong? And they have a picture of Don Lemon, Rachel Maddow, Alec Baldwin, and Stephen Colbert. And then inside, they actually have a bracket just like they do with March Madness, with all the names of all these clowns, these idiots, Chris Hayes, Morning Joe, Stephen Colbert, Kathy Griffin, all of them. It's great. Robert De Niro, Alec Baldwin. It's fantastic. It's so funny. And here's an example of some of the things they quote of some of the late-night comics. Take a listen to this.
I mean, what tipped them off? Was it Trump's secret meeting with the Russians in the Oval Office, his son's secret meeting with Russians at Trump Tower, his lawyer's secret deal to build a Trump Tower in Moscow?
He's right, though. The question is insulting. Of course he's not working for Russia. He's being blackmailed by Russia. There's a difference.
Okay, guys, we got the Kremlin notes right here. Now, we just have to figure out who this golden agent dumbass is.
It's a whole big fat hoax. It's just a hoax.
Big Fat Hoax is his Secret Service code name, by the way.
So you have the geniuses, the quote-unquote comedians. And people listen to these morons.
Yeah. Johnny Carson's rolling in his grave.
Right.
He knew. Johnny knew not to be serious when it comes to politics. You watch that, but you watch these late-night guys now, and they're pontificating about politics like first of all, like they know what's going on. Secondly, like they're unbiased, like they just happen to pick Trump every night of the week,
every single night,
to put up on the cross. It's astounding how unfunny and how many people actually buy into it like they're telling the truth.
Right. There's gullible morons out there.
Oh, my God.
They won't do a sentence on say somebody like Jussie Smollett. They won't even touch it. But they'll go to Trump, he ate whatever he ate, or Melania, a Melania body double, some stupid conspiracy. But some real some stuff like the Cumia, they won't do anything on that stuff.
No.
Nothing. So these guys, they've been exposed as well. They look, it's been good for business for them, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Now what? I mean, they have to come up with the next ludicrous, ridiculous thing that Donald Trump might have done or they think he's done to keep this going until at least 2020. because they need something for the election.
I guess. I don't know if they're going to be hurt. I don't know how it's going to fall. I guess nothing will change, really. We'll get over this, and then we'll be back to normal, as you say. They'll find the latest nonsense to...
when we start seeing the real ridiculous stuff back in the news again, maybe, celebrity stuff and things like that don't have to do with Trump. Maybe then it'll be a sign that we're back to normal again.
Yeah.
But until then, they're just losing their minds, and I couldn't be happy.
They're sick, and I am thrilled. That's why, thus the Christmas music.
Oh, wrapped up in a nice package.
With the Avenatti stuff on top of it. Anthony Cumia from Compound Media. The book is permanently suspended.
Thank you, sir.
And compoundmedia.com every day from 4 to 6.
Yes.
Correct?
Thank you.
And
yes.
you're a funny guy, and it's great to have you. The book is a great read. I read it from front to back, and there's a lot of serious stuff in it as well.
Yeah, a lot of stuff about the business. You especially understand the behind-the-scenes
no
stuff that
doubt.
goes on in
that's
this
that's the other
ridiculous
thing
business.
About these comedians. Like, you can make a joke. A bad joke, right?
Yeah.
And you lose your career. These idiots get something as serious as this wrong, a hoax. They smear and slander and libel a person.
So many people.
For years, for years on end, and there's no accountability. There's no ramifications, no nothing.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But there's no bias.
Anthony Cumia.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
He is the best. On the Bernie and Sid Show on WABC. We're coming right back.